This is going to be a very chill live coding with Wizard of Oz in the background because Wizard of Oz is amazing. I'm going to go into my most popular open source repository, use auth, and resolve some PRs and issues that have accumulated since the last time I looked at it, which is both great because it means people are using the open source software that I wrote, and it's also, well, it means you have to maintain that stuff. So I want to be a good citizen of the open source community and actually do my part. So instead of just, what I always used to do was create some code, throw it over the wall and never look at it again. But for use auth, I want to be a little better than that and actually try to maintain this software because I think there's a lot of potential there. And I do want to add more features. It's just that there's always other things that I should be doing. So I'm going to go into use auth, which now has over 1,000 stars already, which is just mind-blowing if you think about it. Let's see, does it actually tell me how many stargazers there are? 1,026 people have started this, which is crazy bonkers if you ask me. So we've got 4 issues and 5 pull requests and some security vulnerabilities that I should probably resolve. So I'm gonna start with PRs because those are usually easier to resolve. Let's see if I have any stuff that I haven't pulled recently. And you might also see me battle with my keyboard, and that's because this keyboard is getting very old now. It's I've had this since 2012 and I've been using it every day, and some of the keys have started failing. I've ordered a new one, but the new model isn't being sold yet, so I'm waiting in the pre-order queue. Let's see. Bump ESLint utils. That's awesome. Dependabot did things for me to resolve. Dependabot will resolve conflicts, blah, something something. So it changed the dependency for ESLint. Don't really care about that one, so I'm going to just merge it and delete the branch. Next PR. That was easy. See, 1 PR down. Fixed typo 26 days ago. See, this is how bad I am with this sort of stuff. This PR was submitted 26 days ago and I haven't done anything about it because I suck. For reference, perfect. Thanks Vasco3, sorry for the late merge. Comment, and I'm gonna add him to documentation as a contributor because I think doing that kind of stuff is important. So we have this bot called all contributors add Vasco3 for docs. I think. Let's see if that's gonna work. That should add him to the README and to the repository in general. I want to give credit to everyone who contributes. Cool. That was added, so we have another PR now. See, Vasco3 Jorge Quadra, or however you pronounce that, was added to the README and all of the things, so I can approve. Perfect, merge that one. Let's move on to the next merge pull request, confirm merge, and delete the branch so that you don't have branches accumulating. Pull request 4. Come on, there should be fewer than them now. Okay, so Dependabot found a new one 13 seconds ago. Okay, merge that one as well, Dependabot. Don't care. Perfect. Okay, so you see, this is what it looks like when you're. Seriously? Is Dependabot now gonna do this for literally everything? If you make any changes to it yourself, then they will take precedence over this rebase. Okay, Dependabot, just please merge things. Okay, so I seem to have fallen into a pattern of battling with a bot where they keep adding PRs sooner than I can do things. Remove types from package.json. It pointed to the wrong declaration file. TypeScript should find index.dts automatically. Auth provider need to return a JSX element. TypeScript cheat sheet. It may be better to just type the props and let the rest be inferred. Okay, let's see. So instead of types, instead of adding types to package.json, we're letting TypeScript infer it itself, and it needs to return a JSX element rather than a React node. I am fine with that, so I'm gonna merge it. Thanks, who is this? Oivinmar. Great fix. I'm newer. I'm still pretty new to types in libraries. Okay, let's merge this pull request. Merge pull request, and we're gonna add the guy as a contributor for code. All contributors. Add Oivinmar up. Oivinmar for, what was this, for code. Comment, and then a PR is going to show up. Remove, okay, let's change dispatch order, and new is authenticating initial value. Right, that's the one that I already looked at. So now we have conflicts here, which I'm gonna have to resolve. Let's first merge the contributor commit, merge pull request, confirm merge. Alright, so delete this branch. And now I'm gonna go here and pull the code. Git pull origin master. See, my keyboard is messing with me. Git pull origin master. Cool. And by the way, it's my Restream chat room says that there's 4 of you out there watching. If you say hi, that will make me very happy. And if you don't say hi, screw it. My branch is up to date with origin master. So now what's the next thing I gotta do? I gotta figure out the intent behind this guy's PR, because we changed a lot of the files. So I don't think, do we still have, yeah, we don't even have JS files anymore. Everything is TS now. Hey Nate, what's the repo about? Hey Cosmin, so the repo, you're gonna learn something really cool right now. Why don't I have, let's see, I will show you, and I can't remember, why don't I have useauth.com yet? That is very silly of me. But basically, useauth, let's see, do I have a documentation? No, come on. I used to have a site for this. Let's see, where is the site? There used to be a URL with an example. Gatsby use auth example now sh, this one. So basically, the repo is about this use auth hook, where you can very easily integrate authentication into your Jamstack app. So you just add the hook, set up a couple of providers and stuff, and then everything works out of the box. You can click login. It goes to the Auth0 authentication flow. You log in, and when you come back, you are logged in as a person. And if you refresh the page, it should still recognize you as being logged in, which is really cool. And it makes it very easy to add authentication to pretty much any React app. So that's what the repo is about. I'm going to do what? All right, so what I was doing was adding pull requests. Let's see, pull requests, remove console log, this one. So now that we, similar to Passport, I haven't heard of Passport. Passport auth, let's see, what is Passport? Passport.js. Authentication middleware. So it's similar to Passport, but very different in that it doesn't require a server. You don't have to do anything on the backend. This is purely Jamstack. So you can add it to fully front client-side apps. You don't need any backend stuff to make this work, which I think is the really powerful, the powerful idea behind this. Okay, so let's see. What was the last thing he moved? Stop authenticating to dispatch. So where is this thing done? In handle auth result, Where is handle auth result? Git grep handle auth result in source. Handle auth result in source would be in use auth const handle auth result in use auth ts. Okay, use auth ts handle auth result, and we do okay, so he added stop authenticating to dispatch up here. Why? Where do we stop authenticating now? Where am I calling stop authenticating? Git grep stop authenticating in the source. Stop authenticating in source. So stop authenticating. Okay, so it is here. Cool. So this has been done. Now let's see. What did he change? Did he change anything else? No, he didn't. Thanks for your contribution. Who is this? Frederick. Looks like I already integrated your code when moving to TypeScript. Closing this for now. God damn it, Enki, why are you doing this to me? Closing this for contribution, moving to blah. Okay, and let's add him as a contributor because he did help. So all contributors, all, god damn it, contributors, add, who is this? Frederick for code. Okay, comment, and did I actually close it? No, close pull request. Cool, that's closed. I should now have a PR for adding the guy. I can merge that pull request and delete the branch. Now the only thing left, oh, this is going pretty quickly. I should have been doing this way more often. Let's see if the Next.js example has started working yet. And then I'm going to go through and test everything, and we're going to make a new version after. I guess we can also look at some issues first. According to the docs, this should be a class that extends app from. Okay, so this has not been resolved yet, and I am not versed enough in Next.js to fix this, so I'm going to ignore this for now. Maybe we can figure out how to do Next.js. That could be interesting. Maybe not now. Let's look at the issues first. Does it support React Native? Hey Montoya, I haven't, oh come on, the N key. I haven't used React Native in a while, so I'm not sure. Would be cool if someone attempts an example, and then we can figure out what needs fixing. The sticking points would likely be around redirecting to auth0 and back. Right now it assumes URL access to the callback page, so that might break if there's no page. That said, I think auth0 itself does support React Native. Okay, I'm gonna comment on that. Let's see what's next. There's regular JS React app asking for TypeScript declarations. Bear with me as I just got started with React, installed module through Yarn, Yarn add React use auth. Immediately when I slap import use auth from React use auth in my index.js file, I get a little warning in the line stating, could not find a declaration file for module React use auth. Unsure why it is asking for TypeScript declaration. I thought I was doing everything in plain.js. I thought that this was just a warning and this would not affect. Cannot read property state of null. The TypeScript error went away and I copied all the files from this module into my local file system, which won't work. Okay, so we're gonna try if we can reproduce this problem with let's see, ls examples use auth create react app. Oh, we do have a create react app use auth example, and we have a use auth Gatsby. So what I'm gonna do is first publish a new version of this. Let's call yarn build, blah blah blah. So this should build everything, create a normal JavaScript package, and then we're going to deploy it. Okay, git commit, which version are we on? And then after I have it deployed, I'm gonna try to look at the create react app example and fix it up in case there's any problems with that. 050, let's see, git commit -a -m build for v051, and we say npm version patch. That should create everything. Then I got git tag, let's see, no, there we go. What did we fix right now? We just fixed a bunch of things and I can't remember what they were. So let's see. Fix type issues, typo in docs, and what else did we fix? We also fixed we also update some deps. Okay, so we did that. Let's do that again. Update some deps, git push origin master -- tags. That updates the releases on GitHub. Git pull origin master. Okay. Right, that's just the contributor stuff. We can push it back again. Hi Bert, why are you so loud today? And I can call npm publish, but for that I'm gonna need my phone, which is luckily in my pocket. Okay, so we're publishing a new version of use auth. Let's see, my authenticator. Where is the code? 96039, enter. Okay, so I typed it just in the nick of time, just before it went red. Now the next step I'm gonna do is go into the create react app example, which should be in plain JavaScript, update the dependency, and try to see if I can reproduce the error that b2 times 4 is seeing. That was on September 18th. It's now November 10th, so I am unfortunately a terrible open source maintainer, but I do my best. It's just that my best is not very good. So let's see, examples, and we go into cd use auth create react app example. I'm going to open that one in my code editor, or in VS Code really. Use auth, source examples, use auth, create React app, and let's upgrade the pretty much everything. Okay, so let's see, upgrade React use auth to 051. Oh, Dejan Strancar build this, awesome. It's from the homeland. Okay, and this is all in plain JavaScript, I think. App.js, yep. Cool, so upgraded that. I can go to, I can then say yarn to update the actual dependencies. Actually, let's do this. rmrf rmrf node modules. And obviously an interesting exercise to do for this project as a whole would be adding tests, but I have not done that yet, so I'm gonna have to do it at some point. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it at some point. I just am trying to procrastinate on that as long as possible, because figuring out how to add tests to an existing project is always a pain in the ass. Okay, let's see. That's running. What else can I do while that's installing? I still don't know how to. I used to have keyboard shortcuts that would make my face go big or small on the streams, and they stopped working when I upgraded my OS. Run yarn start, and let's see if this error still happens. Starting the development server. Cool. Okay, why did you open Chrome? I don't use Chrome, I use Brave. We go to localhost 3000, I think. There we go, 8000. Localhost 8000. React app loads, and I'm logged in. Nice, there's no errors. Let's go to the new one. Localhost, that seems to work. I can click login. I go through auth0. I can log in as myself. Click login. Goes back to the authentication page, and I've got everything working. Nice. And there doesn't seem to be any type error. Let's see. Hey B2 times, thanks for reporting this. Looks like it's been resolved at some point since September 18th. Current version 0. Oh, come on, keyboard. Current version 051 doesn't show any type errors in a basic CRA app. You can look at how it's done in the examples directory. I didn't change anything except. Hey Robin, how are you doing today? What kind of Sunday are you having? I didn't change anything except the version number. Okay, comment, and then let's see if we can track this person out on Twitter. At all contributors add B2 times for issues. Always nice to thank people for reporting issues as well, because that is a very important, it's an important contribution. So let's see if we can find this person's Twitter handle. That's one of the problems with GitHub, is that I never know if people actually see, any, any notifications or anything, because I personally never see notifications on GitHub. What kind of design system are you building, Robin? I always Personally, I always steal somebody else's design system because I am a terrible, terrible designer. But let's see. B2 times. No. He does not exist. Okay. So let's see. Where was I? We closed that. We closed this one because it's already resolved. I can't find B2 times as any contact info, so I can't reach out and personally say, hey, we've resolved this issue, which is unfortunate, but that's how GitHub works. cd dot dot cd dot dot git commit -m update CRA example, and then we git add examples, git commit -a -amend, so that we update that commit. Oh, come on. WQ. And let's see, I can also do the same update on the Gatsby example, just so that they're both in sync with the latest science. Cool. We open Gatsby SSR package JSON and we update this sucker to 5.1. And let's see what happens if I call upgrade. I've never tried that before. Let's go to examples Gatsby and say yarn upgrade. Let's see what happens if I call just yarn upgrade on everything. That should in theory upgrade all of my dependencies, right? At least that's what I think it's supposed to do. But we will see. Robin, that sounds like a horrible, horrible task that is very worthy of a lazy Sunday. I do not envy you in the least. Aggregating a large code base like that, you're a brave person. Hello, Bert. Okay, so that did things. But did it actually do anything serious? Super agent, blah, package JSON. I don't know what this did. Let's see, ls node modules react use auth package JSON. Let's cat that. Grab version 03. Okay, that did not do anything. So let's go and let's look up the latest version of Gatsby and the latest version of React. What is the latest version of React? We can upgrade to 11. So let's do that. 11.0, 11.0, and we know that use auth is at 5.1. The code is new and I just take the styling from it and make it consistent. The fun part is I can now be smart and oh nice. I applaud your improvements on the A11Y stuff. That is always super important. Let's see, auth0.js. What version are we on? Auth0.js is on 9.11.3. That is still correct. Then we have Gatsby itself, which is on 2.17.11. 2.17.11. Gatsby image. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do this with React Experimental. Are you crazy? Although that would be an interesting, that would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? I think there's a lot of opportunities in use auth to use suspense, but we're not gonna go there. Manifest 227, Gatsby plugin. Why am I installing that? I'm not even using it. Is now 3019. Who guesses everything is going to break? Gatsby plugin React Helmet. Did you know that React Helmet was built by the NFL? I always thought that was pretty cool. 3.1.14. Then we have Gatsby plugin Sharp. Sharp? Come on, Sharp. 2.2.37. Gatsby source file system, which I'm not even using, but I'm gonna upgrade anyway. File system to 136. And then we have Gatsby transformer sharp. Nice. I like how everyone just bailed out of the stream as soon as I started manually upgrading these version numbers. You can also tell me how a better way to do it, because I don't know. Okay, and then we have PKCE flow and stuff, but I still don't, it's like the PKCE flow is a new flow that Auth0 implemented for their stuff, and it just sounds like a pretty difficult way of, it doesn't sound difficult, it just means that I would have to rewrite a lot of the code, and I should really have tests first before I do that. And since I don't have tests, it's going to be difficult to refactor things, isn't it? But the tests I do have are the examples, which is always, at least there's that. So I can go yarn start and see if the main example still works. Never worked with Next.js before, which is always a fun challenge. Like, let's just build an example for my library in a new framework, right? Localhost 8000, or let's try it in a completely new incognito tab. Incognito localhost 8000. Let's see. I can click login. Puts me in. I can then log in as myself. Go in, and it says log out. Yay! And if I refresh the page, it says verifying, and then gives me the chance to log. Then it recognizes that I'm logged in, and that works. Perfect. So the example works, everything is fine, which means I can go back here and commit this, git status, git commit -a-m, update deps in Gatsby example. Oh, cool. Hey, wait, I was at Full Stack. No, wait, I was not at Full Stack Europe. I was at Full Stack Fest in Spain. How was that conference, Robin? Git push origin master. Let's see. Is there useauth.com? Now domain by useauth.com is unavailable. Because what I've been thinking of having a domain and a landing page and like a homepage for useauth, which would be really cool. But let's see, does use.auth, is that something that exists? That would be cool. Is not supported. One thing that I don't like about, let's see, yarn update, is that a thing that exists? So there's yarn upgrade, but you still have to go one by one, I think. Because I tried yarn upgrade and nothing happened. That's why I then went one by one. Okay, so let's see, what other domain can I buy? Now domain by useauth.dev.io.co. What kind of domain should I get? Let's start with useauth.dev, because I think dev domains are pretty cool for this kind of stuff. Or should I get .io? No, let's go with .dev. I've been enjoying .dev domains lately. Hi, Bert. Useauth.dev for $20 a year. Okay, I can do that. Okay. Well, I always find that the first version of a conference is usually super fun because it still feels very gritty and personal. But then once you have a more established team, the conference itself is usually better in quality and stuff. So I'm going to just deploy useauth Gatsby to useauth.dev for now. So I'm going to call now in this project, and then later on when I have time I can figure out how to make an actual website for this thing, which, you know, I think that's a valid approach. Now while I'm still here, let's try to figure out the Next.js example. Okay, files changed, Next.js example. So I'm going to, how do I switch to this thing? Open the view command line instructions. Git checkout -b smekde master. Oh, that already exists. Git checkout smekde master. Okay. And then I can go git status. Then I can go into examples and use auth. What did he name his example? Files changed. It's in create next app. Create next app. And I'm going to rmrf all node modules, or rather let's just run yarn and see what happens. And in the background, my bird, what are you doing? So the first deployment of the useauth Gatsby project, and let's see, that's deploying. In the meantime, I installed everything here, and then I can go with, let's open that project, useauth Gatsby, useauth examples, create next app. Hi Bert, you want to say hi to everyone? You're very attention seeky right now, Kiwi. Okay, so let's see, how does it have a start? It does have a start. Yarn start. How's the deploy going? It's still building. Yarn start. Could not find a valid build in the blah. Try building your app with next build. Okay, yarn dev. That seems like a more useful one. Okay, so that's running. I should now be able to go to localhost 3000, and it's compiling the page. Welcome to useauth Next.js example. Cool. Okay, so it seems like this just works now. I really like the design that we get from by default. So log in. This is the auth callback page, and then it says the state does not match. That's a problem. To get started, click that button. So we now it says hi Swizzards at swizzards.com, which is great, and gives us the logout button. But if I reload the page, it doesn't recognize what's going on. Why is that? I wonder if it's just a domain issue. Let's go to my Auth0 setup and enable localhost 3000 as well as localhost 8000. Log into my thing. How's this going? It's still building. Okay, so Jamstack September 2019, that was a different project. I need to switch my tenant to useauth, and this one I might leak some, yeah, okay, sorry, oops, I am leaking people's stuff. Useauth example, useauth auth0.com, client ID, client secret, that's all of the ones that I use in my example. So this is This is public on purpose. I want to share this with people so that it's easy to set up and get started, but I don't want people to actually use this. Okay, so I did add localhost 3000 here. But I didn't add it here. So I'm gonna have to add this. We want to allow localhost 3000, and I'm also gonna want to allow HTTPS use auth.dev. That's gonna be important. That needs to be added there. Allowed origins course. This goes from web origins, JWT expiration, save changes. Okay, now I'm going to restart this just to be safe. Now is still deploying. I'm going to move it here so we can see what's going on. And let's see. Okay. Oh. Run the code. And let's see. Okay. I can log in. Oh, I'm not getting errors anymore, I think. I still get invalid token. State does not match, whatever that means. And if I refresh the page, it doesn't log me in. Okay. So let's go to a new localhost 3000. And let's see, React DevTools for better experience. So I have no idea how this stuff works. So it's going to be pretty interesting to figure out. I've never worked with Next.js before. I think this is our navigation on the top, right? I need to switch this to React mode. And why is it giving me shit? Replace. Wow, that is useful. What if I just save? Okay. So we have Zeit.com now, Zeit Next.js, that's stuff up there. Okay. And then we have the home link. Cool. And some basic styles. That works for me. Then pages. We go into index.js. What does app.js do? Aha. App.js component is missing in props on validation. So we get the auth provider and then we render the page props. The auth domain is useauth auth0.com with my client ID. This should be the same as it is here. Let's see. Not twitter.com, but we go on GitHub and look at $mathcrunch, Swiss use auth. Something's in my eye. Look at my examples. Use auth Gatsby. Hello bird. And Gatsby in browser has the auth provider with a domain useauth.com and gj blah blah blah. Okay. Now what does this guy say? According to the docs, this should be a class that extends app from next app. Class my app extends. Okay. We can try that. Extends app, but where does app come from? Extends app. Okay, let's look at Next.js docs. I've never used Next.js, so we're just gonna have to figure it out. The React framework, yeah. React framework for server rendered blah. I've heard this is actually a really cool framework. I just haven't used it yet. Learn, getting started, login and start. Okay, fine. Authorize Zeit. Thought you were already authorized Zeit. Okay. Yeah. Okay, navigate between pages, create dynamic pages. I don't know what this means. Clean URLs with dynamic routing, fetching data, deploying an Next.js app, styling components, exporting into blah. Oh look, it gives me points. Cool. Okay, let's go to the learn mode instead. Or the docs. Dynamic routing, populating head, showcase, npm install. Bird, what are you doing? Cow say hi. That's funny. Where do I put app.js? Why is there no search? FAQ, multi-zone, usage. How do I do app.js? Aha. To overwrite, create the Next.js uses the app component to initialize pages. Perfect. So we import app. There we go. Import app from next/app, like that. And then we have class my app, which extends the app itself. Only uncomment this method if you have blocking data requirements. We do not. But then we render that, and we get so we get component and page props from this.props. Oh no, not from, equals. Is the chat overlay broken? Robin, what do you mean by the chat overlay being broken? I'm not sure, Robin, what you mean by that. Because are you saying that messages aren't coming through, or? Yeah, I'm not really sure what you're referring to with that, so. Okay, so we have the auth provider, the component. Now, where does the use router come from? It's from next router. Dynamic routing, router use router. Where else does the router come from? Router use router. Import use router from next router. Okay, is a React hook, meaning it cannot be used with classes. You can either use with router a higher order component or wrap your class in a functional component. Oy vey. Okay, so that's gonna be silly. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna export default a class that extends the app like this. So export default class app extends app, and all this is going to do is on the render method, it's going to return my app with this.props, like that. So we're then going to have a function my app the same way we had before, which does all of these things. Function my app, which gets component and page props like this, and returns stuff like so. Is missing in props validation, blah blah blah. I don't care. Okay, so we're now extending the app component. Extend app component and return our function so we can use like that. Okay, now let's see if that makes it work. That would be cool. So we go to localhost 3000, we render that rendered. I can now click login, and it does all of my login stuff. So I log in as myself. I'm not sure what that's about. Log in, and it redirects me back. It knows that I'm Swizzet, which is great. It's still throwing an invalid token, however. And what happens if I reload the page? It doesn't do the things. Why isn't it doing all of the things though? Let's see, package JSON. Oh. Where is it even from React use auth, but why is React use auth not in the dependencies? Okay, let's try adding that. Yarn add auth0.js, like that. And we're going to yarn add React use auth. Okay. And then I'm going to start, just to be safe, I'm going to delete all of the node modules and reinstall and try running yarn dev again and seeing if that maybe potentially fixes things. If it doesn't, we're gonna keep digging and trying to figure out how to make this Next.js example work. Yarn dev rmrf yarn to install everything. Why is this still building? This is like a very simple Gatsby app. What are you doing, Zeit? Okay, let me just go see what the bird is doing. He's very quiet. Kiwi, what you doing? What you doing? What doing, birdo? Bird was quite suspicious. Okay, so what is going on here? Deployment duration 17 minutes already, and it's just not even doing anything. Weird. Okay, so I've got that. Okay, that installed. So now I can run yarn dev again and see if that makes it work. If that made it work. What's my girlfriend saying? Okay. Is authenticated function. I can now go back to localhost 3000 and it's saying login required. Yes, we know. I don't know what the console log is doing either. Index.js. Aha. Console, that was console log. Ugh. Okay. We've got that. So this is now the code where we're actually using the is authenticated stuff, which is great. Now let's see. I'm gonna reload this, so it's not gonna console log anything. And where is it saying login required for the error? Let's try clearing stuff, just in case. Okay, again, we reload. It says login required, which I'm not sure why it's doing that. Click login. We go through the flow, we come back, and we get state does not match. Why are we getting that? Is authenticated, login, logout. If is authenticated, we show the logout button. Otherwise, we show the login button. If the user is authenticated, if is authenticated user.name, otherwise we show people. So that should be fine. Then what else do we have? Auth0 callback. The auth0 callback is just pretty much standard. Let's see, how did I do this on the Gatsby page? Let's look at that. So we have the basic wrapper, which looks the same. So we have the navigate function, then we have the auth0 domain and the auth0 client ID, and then we render our stuff. That looks correct. Then in the pages, we have the auth0 callback page, which, let's change that. So we get handle authentication from use auth, use effect, handle authentication, and we run that effect on the initial page load, which is correct again. And then stuff happens, and on index.js, the page, we get is authenticated, and here, if is authenticated, let's also return a button like that. And let's add small if currently is authenticating. Let's see, authenticating dot 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 and null. So why is this a problem? Oh, because I need to end this one. Okay, so we have a button, and if it's authenticating, it's authenticating, and we also add that here so that we have a little state indicator for when we are first loading the page. That should be like spinning essentially. So that's the login button, and then then I have a bunch of HTML here for some reason. Then we have is authenticated the user, and if the user is authenticated, we say user.name, otherwise we say people, and that should work. Yep, you're right. Thanks for the typo catch, Josh. Is authenticating is not defined, right? Is authenticated and is authenticating. Okay, so that should be loading stuff. Now let's see what happens. If I reload the page, Command Shift R, okay, it says login required, fine. I click login, and now it doesn't log me in anymore. What? Okay, that worked. But then when I reload the page, okay, let's try removing this stuff. I don't know why this isn't working. That's the weird part. Where is it throwing this error? Ah, in auth0.js, fine. Login. Why didn't it show me the... Yeah, need to destructure it off, use auth, did that. So now let's see what happens. I'm gonna clear this, I reload the page, and it should go to authorize, which is correct. We're authorizing my client ID and stuff, and the response why is the response not telling me that I am authenticated? That's the weird part. Because when I log in, that goes to auth0 and comes back, and it's supposed to then know that I'm logged in. But for some reason See, if I go to the Gatsby example, where do we have the Gatsby? Wow. Why did this shit time out? Zeit, why do you have trouble with Gatsby? It's so annoying sometimes. Okay. Yeah, I can't figure out why this doesn't work. Does anyone have an idea why it's not doing the things? Because on my other example, let's see, where's my other example? If we go to, oh, I haven't deployed that yet, have I? Let's see, git stash, git checkout master, and we go to cd examples, come on, cd / examples, cd document random coding, use auth, and then we go to examples and Gatsby, and now when I yarn start here, we'll see that the pattern is that it makes an authorized request to auth0, but it gets a valid response, which for some reason on the Next.js example it doesn't, which is just weird. Okay, localhost 8000. See, like, I reload the page and then it makes a authorized request, doesn't it? Authorize, see, makes an authorized request to the client and gets a basically no real response. But it does something. And here when I go to look at the authorized request, let's see what looks different. We have the same client ID, have the same response type, the redirect URL is pretty much the same, just using a different port, same scope, the same audience, state is obviously different, nonce should be different, response mode is the same, prompt is the same, and then the auth0 client is also the same. So I have no idea what's going on here, which means I'm going to ignore the problem. Let's see if I can make that would be super silly. I'm going to git checkout minus to go back to the same branch, git stash pop, and I'm going to convince the Next.js example, Next.js dev mode to run on port 8000. And if that fixes it, then I don't know what the hell is going on. Next.js dev port 8000. How to specify a port on next start. Duplicate of 102. All right, dev next p8080. So we're gonna go into package.json. Josh, yes, this code is definitely available online. It's in the use auth repository. Okay, so I'm going to run yarn dev one last time. If this makes it work, then I have no idea what the hell. And if it doesn't make it work, I'm going to stop live coding anyway and just commit this, merge branches, and hope for the best. Okay, browser only version. So let's go to localhost 8000. Localhost 8000. Nope, still doesn't work, but it's trying to work. If I log in, oh, now it's gonna give me the wrong redirect, isn't it? No, it isn't. Okay, so that worked. And if I now reload the page, oh, it works. What? Okay, changing it to port 8000 actually fixed the problem, which leads me to believe this is something to do with my Auth0 configuration, which I don't feel like changing right now, so we got it working. Yay! Okay, git status, git commit -m, make example work. Make Next.js example work, make example Next.js work, fine, whatever. Git push, then we go git checkout master, git merge smack the master, like that, and git push origin master. So now we have a Next.js example. Okay, now we have a Next.js example. Perfect. And I can go into cd example, let's see, cd // and can I now deploy this fucker? Because I really do want to deploy this so that I have it. Yeah, let's see if I can deploy it. Because I want to update the public page, and now that I bought the domain, I want to set it up on the domain. But it might actually be easier to see, what can I do? Use auth gatsby now.sh. Is that where we have it? I would use auth gatsby example. I don't remember where I keep this thing. Let's look at my Auth0 configuration, because the domain is in there. Jamstack, switch tenant to use auth. And let's see, applications, use auth example. We have it on Gatsby use auth example now.sh. ls, no, there's no now module. Let's see, now Gatsby. How do I deploy Gatsby with now? Deploying to site now. Deploying. Yes, you're supposed to just run get now, but that doesn't actually work. Static build. No. Site. Okay. Do I have it pointing to localhost 8000 in the config? Because that's possible. Let's see, do they have a now JSON? JSON, they do not. They have a now ignore, which has yarn lock and readme. What does Gatsby functions example do? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Josh, you are right. That was why it didn't work. I'm just now trying to figure out how to deploy this thing. Let's see, Zeit. Because it used to be easier to deploy, but for some reason they've been having trouble. Deploy, read the guide, Zeit. New project, Gatsby 2. No, I don't want to create a project in my thing. Just show me how to make it work. Platform network advanced. Now for GitHub, now for blah. Network, platform. Okay. There we go. Build next build. That's using environment variables, adding secrets, environment variables, reserved variables, blah. Technical details, maximum build duration. Each build step will cache files used to build the project or files used in subsequent deployments, such as which are cached by default. The caching mechanism for builds ensures that the next deployment will happen quicker. Okay. I still don't know how to do now.json. Let's see. Now.json. Let's see. I don't know how to create a now.json for now.json for static build. There we go. Official builders. Okay. Use auth examples, use auth Gatsby. So I'm just trying to figure out how to deploy this easily because running now didn't seem to work. Gatsby build. Okay. This isn't helping. Okay, advanced static build usage. You can configure your own build step using the static builds builder by providing configuration like the following inside of a now.json file. Okay. Touch now.json. Now.json. And we open now.json. I mean, it did time out from a glitch, but I found that forcing it to use a static build seems to work better for some reason. So I'm going to just do that. Package JSON, and we tell it to use @now/static build. Like that. The entry point for source must be a package JSON file configuring the build output directory with static builds. Yes. And we config. Yeah, so exactly, you don't need anything special, and yet in my experience adding this little bit of specialness makes it a much easier process. Let's add version 2, and I think there's a name. Can we specify a name? Name. my secret, git credentials, because I know there's a project name. Caching data, project name, limits, project name, alias, because I know there's also a way to automatically alias. Alias, let's see, there we go. Alias, we're going to alias it to, what was it? Gatsby, no, not that one, but the other one. Gatsby use auth example.now.sh and to use auth.dev, like that. And now when I run now, we go to, let's see, git status. Okay, now, come on, now. So now it's going to build it, I think, locally and then deploy it, or either way, I think it's going to be much faster and actually work. And then we're gonna have use auth.dev to refer people to my thing, which is gonna be great. Let's see if this works, and then I should really stop live coding and go do other stuff that I have to get done today. Boy, how time flies, eh? Okay, so this is now deploying. I can go look at the stuff on Zeit.co. This one is building, linking dependencies. I have no idea what it's doing. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna stop live coding now. So thanks everyone for watching. I will see you again next time. Not sure exactly when next time is going to be, but I'm gonna try for it to be on Tuesday. So thanks for watching and have fun. I have a bunch of things I need to go get done.